Hey everybody, it's Benny1 and I'm back at you with another Star Wars movie review, and we're moving on to the new trilogy, everybody. The new trilogy of Star Wars that Disney started when they took over after they purchased Star Wars from George Lucas in 2012, everybody. And we're moving on to Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, everybody. This movie came out in 2015, and The Force Awoken, everybody. Goddamn. This movie made a crap ton of money in the box office, broke every single box office record that there was at the time when the movie came out. And I gotta tell you, I will never forget going to this movie on opening weekend. The hype, the excitement that everybody had, it reminded me of being a kid again, going to the movie theaters when new movies like this would come out, and the hype was real. Like when Episode 1 was getting ready to come out, a new Star Wars movie for the first time in like years was coming out, the hype train was just off the rails with this movie. And I thought it paid off, to tell you the truth. Like, when I walked out of the movie theater watching this movie, I had that excitement and that feeling of what I kind of felt like and when I first saw the original Star Wars movie and the original trilogy. Like, it made me feel that way again watching a Star Wars movie. And yeah, this movie does kind of mimic and replicate the original Star Wars movie with the story and things that happen in it, but that's okay. It's not like, it doesn't ruin the movie for me. So this movie was directed by J.J. Abrams, and man, he did a phenomenal job directing this movie. I thought he set up this new trilogy beautifully. We'll get to what happened after that, though, after his movie in our next movie review. But yeah, I thought he set this new trilogy up beautifully because it takes place like 30 years later after Return of the Jedi. We have a bunch of returning cast members. We have a bunch of new cast members. Daisy Ridley plays Rey. She's our new main hero. John Boyega plays Finn. We have Adam Driver playing Kylo Ren, our new big bad Vader-esque type villain in this new trilogy. You find out he's actually Ben Solo. He's Leia and Han's son who turned bad. Oscar Isaac plays Poe. I mean, we get, like, I'm serious, like, there's a bunch of returning cast members. Those are some of the new ones, but we got Carrie Fisher back as Leia. We got Harrison Ford back as Han Solo. Luke's back. Mark's back playing Luke, even though it's a very brief part in this movie. I know that was one thing I was a little disappointed with, is I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get to see Luke do some badass Jedi shit finally, and he's barely in the goddamn movie. We'll get to that. What's her name? Gwendolyn Christie. She plays Captain Phasma, the chick from Game of Thrones. Dan Hall Gleason plays General Hux. Andy Serkis plays Snoke. And then some more returning cast members. Peter Mayhew. Chewbacca is back. The guy that actually played Chewbacca. I'm pretty sure he did most of the filming in this one for Chewbacca. The Last Jedi, he did not do a lot because his health was going bad, but he was in some of the scenes in The Last Jedi. Kenny Baker's back as R2-D2. Anthony Daniels is back as C-3PO. Simon Pegg was in this movie. He was Plute. He was that junk trader guy on goddamn Jakku or whatever that Rey was on. He was the junk trader that she would exchange shit for and get food and stuff for. That's Simon Pegg, everybody, because Simon Pegg is used to working with JJ on the Star Trek movies. So, and Daniel effing Craig, James Bond, was in this movie, everybody. He was a stormtrooper. The scene where Rey is trying to use the Force to convince it, and brainwash him and tell him to drop his gun and release her shackles and everything. That stormtrooper in that scene, that's Daniel Craig. Listen to him talk and watch him strut. He got that James Bond strut. Daniel Craig, James Bond, everybody, was a stormtrooper in this movie. I think it's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, guys, this new movie just had that spark and that excitement of what Star Wars was, and this rejuvenated the Star Wars franchise after the prequel movies, because a lot of people were not happy about how the prequel movies went down. And now that this new trilogy is done and over with, I think people like the prequel movies more than this newer trilogy, which I think is hilarious. The movie's beautiful. The special effects are great. Lots of great action. Our new characters interact amazingly with our old cast members. The scene when Han and Chewie first step on the Falcon again after Rey and Finn have it, and they get loaded onto that freighter thing that Han and Chewie have, that goosebumps, man. That's what this movie is all about, getting reintroduced to these awesome characters that we haven't seen for years, and them interacting with these new cast members and characters. This movie's fun. I love this movie. It's a freaking thrill ride. I think it's, as far as the story goes, for me, I think it's the best one in this new trilogy. I will say that The Last Jedi is probably as far as a film as a whole, The Last Jedi is the best movie when you're talking about acting, directing, pacing, editing, story, all that shit. The Last Jedi is probably the best one when you look at it in like a critical, reviewing of a movie as a whole. But as a Star Wars fan and a laid back movie review person, I think this one is the best one as a whole, for me at least, because I like the story. I know it mimicked the first one, but they changed it enough that I don't really have too many qualms and shit about it that I don't like. So I gotta tell you, man, and when freaking Kylo Ren killed Han Solo in this movie, I was pissed off. I was like, no way in hell. No way. And I was like, if they freaking try and make that guy good again, no, absolutely not. I was pissed when he killed Han. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was so pissed. But I know that the space, well, there isn't really a space fight, because the Star Killer base is like a planet. It's actually not a ship. So that's the thing, is like they took the Death Star idea and they're like, let's just make it a goddamn planet. So, and there's one thing in the movie that I don't quite understand, is like the First Order is like huge. It's massive. They're like the size of the Empire, but yet there's a new republic formed already, and like the good guys have been in charge of shit, the rebels, for 30 years now. But like I just don't understand how the First Order like it got so massive. That's something they don't really explain in this trilogy, is like how the First Order came about and got so big when there was already a new Republic government in place and everything on a bunch of planets, because Starkiller Base literally destroys all of the planets that the new Republic are on, just like that. They don't even really like mention anything. They're like, oh, the new Republic's already all gone. That was the one thing about the story. I was like, really? Just like that? The Republic that has been formed and been around for a while, it's just gone? Just like that shit? So, but overall, those are just a few little tidbits about it that I'm like, really? But overall, it's a fun movie. And the end scene with Rey handing the lightsaber to Luke, and you finally get to see Luke in his grizzly long hair and shaggy beard. What a goddamn cliffhanger. Oh my god, the cliffhanger that this movie ends on. Because it ends with her holding his lightsaber out and him looking at her, and that's where the movie ends. What a cliffhanger. Ugh. And it took them 3 years to get the next movie out. I was just like, oh, I can't wait 3 years. I want it now, everybody. So yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It's fun. It reminded me of my childhood and being excited about a new Star Wars and just enjoying going to the movie theater. So I'm going to give The Force Awakens, I'm going to give it a freaking 8 out of 10, everybody. I think it's a fun movie. I just really do. So an 8 out of 10 for Star Wars The Force Awakens, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube laters, because I have spoken.